All right. It says we are live. Does it say it for you guys too?
Yep.
We,
Yes.
we live and direct, y'all.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. See it? Okay, it is coming through like wildflowers. All right. Hey, everybody. We are live just a couple minutes late. It's Friday. Give us mercy, give us grace, please, and thank you. But welcome. It's the girl Leasy Jay all day and living life with a Shay. And as you can see, we got two people with us.
Two
And
special guests.
yes, two guests. Surprise, surprise on y'all, because y'all didn't even see it in nothing. Y'all ain't seen nothing. Here live. And these are actually women that we follow. We watch their videos, they watch our videos. Support, support, support. Look at all the women in the Black women support on Black History Month. That's what I'm talking about. But
You want to let them go and just tell a
Yeah.
little bit about themselves and their channel so everyone
Yeah.
can go ahead and subscribe to them as well.
Yeah. So without further ado, like I was saying, ladies, take the floor. Whichever want to go first, go for it.
They like, wait, you did not tell me about this part.
I'll go first. Hey, everyone. My name is Olivia. My channel name is Olivia V or Olivia Val M. I make lifestyle content. I've been doing the YouTube thing for a little bit over a year, having fun, really enjoying subscribing and watching the videos of these three ladies. And yeah, just excited for this conversation.
All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cory, aka Cory Nes, aka it's your girl Cory. Well, originally from New York, live in Atlanta. My YouTube channel consists of traveling, vlogs, and dating. Dating Cory. It's hard out here for a pimp. No.
And that's part of what this segment and this live is about, right? As far as being over 30, dating, the stigma of where we're supposed to be in life, right? Quotation as far as being over 30. So that's perfect.
Yes. But that's it. I'm glad to be here. Glad to, do a live with these ladies. I watched both of them. They invited me. I'm like, let's go. Let's talk. Let's chit chat. Got my little drink. It's Friday.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. She know how it goes. She know how it goes. She know how
Every Friday during our lives, this is what we do. We make a little drink. So I guess we can kind of say what we go. I was going to make a mocktail, right? I was going to, but the way the devil is set up, right? He said you need something stronger. It's Friday. It's the week. And although I typically listen to God, right? I've had a long week. So I said I can partake in one. So I made me a little, listen, don't talk about the lemon. I made a lemon drop, but the lemon, as you can see, is barely holding on like me during this long work week. But we are here. What do you got, Leasy Jay?
So what had happened was mine is a mocktail too, because I really did not want one. I wanted something else. But it's really just like I always have a little blue. That's my favorite color. But I have blue simple syrup and some Sprite and some because I just went to Publix today because it was that I got me a hoagie from Publix.
A hoagie.
Yeah,
stay up north and West Coast.
They're the best.
It is
I got
definitely
me a hoagie. It's a hoagie. Okay,
A hero, no.
Yeah, a hero or a hoagie. I got me a hoagie from Publix, and I had to get my mango lemonade. Oh my god! So I just mixed it all together and just put it in there. So that's what I have. Nothing fancy. I'm trying not to drink it all because usually when it's really good, y'all see me. I be, but yeah, that's what I got today.
I got a little cup of Moscato.
Period.
Okay.
Nothing too much.
Dang.
Olivia, you just vibing with us, or you got a little something too?
Just got a little water,
Hydrated. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Gotta take breaks in between all the drinking, so
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a long break, but I'm taking it, even though. But we also we do too ask is how have your week been, ladies? Monday, Friday, or Saturday through Friday? How has your week been so far?
My week has been busy. I'm actually going away tomorrow morning, so getting packing, my hair done, running last minute errands, all that good stuff. And today, I try not to do nothing. My bag is zipped, everything's ready to go, so I'm just chilling. Like, okay, pat myself on the back.
Okay, okay. POV.
I've had a pretty chill week.
Okay.
Didn't really do much, but I will say today I was productive because I did my hair. I literally just finished doing my hair like 10 minutes before coming on, so I'm giving myself a little pat on the back.
I hear that she got fly for us, y'all.
Yes.
I love what she's like.
Yes.
Okay,
she got that bust down long. Okay,
I couldn't come on the live looking crazy.
we thank you. We appreciate it because I got the flip over because I'm like, he's about to come out. But we appreciate that for sure. Because she said, let me whip this together real quick. But for my week, I know it's not as busy. I didn't have as many meetings as I normally do have, but it was kind of cool. But I'm working on a project, personal, not work wise. So a short film project. So I'm like, that has been hectic and crazy. So other than that,
one of these lives you're gonna have to drop it so we can go and vote for you so you can win that prize. Y'all hold her to it because she trying to keep us out the loop.
When I complete it, it's a big ask. It's a big ask. I will drop everything and what everything's about and stuff like that. But it's just very nerve-wracking. I got like 5 more days left to submit everything. So
you got this.
Right. I love it. You got this.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Miss Lachey, how was your week, madam?
I started it off on why I got this lemon drop.
Listen.
This is a busy week for me. It is my 101 week, which I have meetings with my team like every other week. So yeah, it was pretty busy. I was in meetings left and right.
Yeah. Oh, then taking one for the team. Appreciate you. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, for explaining and sharing with us your drinks and everything. We're going to jump right on into the topic. It is beyond the norm, chartering life. 35 plus, 30 plus, whatever plus you are. What it is. This is what we are. So, I think I'm going to start off.
So before you get into that, right? I kind of want to deep dive a little bit more and the reason of actually having this live.
Okay.
So on top of, the stigma of where we're supposed to be in life and getting all of these comments from everyone, right? When you're like over 30 or 35 plus or whatever the case may be, and you don't have any kids or you've never been married, it's kind of like people look at you like, what's wrong with you? We also reflect more on our life. Like, is something wrong with me? Like, why I'm not there? But I also want to get into time is different, right? You have a lot more women that's super independent. And so with that, we know what we want. We're not just settling. On top of that, we're older, right? When we were younger, yeah, we may be messing with someone that we ain't had no business messing with. But now at this big age that we're at, right? We have more expectations and things like that. And so it's not like what's wrong with us and why we can't find nobody, why they can't find us.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing wrong with us. We just, our standards are higher, right? Our expectations are higher. And at this age, it's no longer dating just to be dating. Obviously, I know we're all at this point dating for a purpose. And so this live was important because there are a lot of women like us who may not have been married and don't have any kids or whatever the case may be. And I don't know about y'all, but I know for me, I'm sick of people like I've received comments where it's like, well, maybe you need to lower your standards, or maybe you should accept something that I typically won't accept. And just for all the women out there, keep that standard that you got. And what I will say is don't look for the man. Let him come and look for you. And yes, I know we have our lonely moments, right? When the holidays come up or cold, right? We in the cold season where you may want to cuddle, rub feet, you know what I'm saying? But I think you just have to be patient. And so that is why we are, well, a few reasons of why we are having this live. Because we still the shit. Okay.
Exactly.
You guys, anybody want to touch on that before we get into the little few topics of how you may feel now at this age, or some comments you may have gotten, or what you are doing in life, or positioning yourself to better prepare you for when that Mr. Someone come around?
I've gotten the comments where, hey, maybe you should lower your checklist. Maybe your checklist is a little unrealistic and everything. But I've changed a little with my checklist, but not too much.
Yeah, like we still got to be realistic. And I know one of the things that I seen, right, and I had to like put it in perspective, like, oh, okay. Tamala Mann, I believe her name is, the Tyler Perry, her husband. I seen an Instagram where he was like, ladies, I'm gonna give you guys a pointer of how to find that person that you're looking for. And he pretty much was like, write down everything you're looking for in a husband, write down everything you're looking for in a significant other. And he was like, match that. You can't be looking for this person or whatever the case may be and not have it, which I agree, because when you do, you also put yourself in different rooms and all of that to potentially meet that person. So when I seen that was kind of like a wake-up call for me, like, let me go ahead and write this down and try to match what it is that I'm looking for. So I thought that was like a wake-up call, right? Like, yeah, I am looking for a certain person. So to meet that caliber I'm looking for, I do need to get this, and this together.
I think I partially agree, but I think there's levels. Like, I don't think that each person has to meet exactly where the other person is, but you gotta come with something. Like,
yeah.
Be like, at 0 and the person is up there, and you think that they're gonna, see the value that you have.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100% on that. Because you do want to, grow and build with your significant other too. So it's okay to be able to not check everything off. I would say just the most important things, and be able to, match the other ones maybe together.
Yeah, that makes sense. And when you're saying levels, I'm also thinking about, I had a certain standard when I was younger, or not a standard too. Like, I used to live in a city. I used to live in Philly. So I didn't really require at someone to have a car, because I'm like, we jumped on a bus, jumped on a trolley. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a big, huge thing if someone didn't have a car and we were dating, because I'm like, oh, is this easy access to just jump on, do this, whatever. Moving places, are like, oh no, you need a car. Because I'm not going to be the one. Like, when I got a car and I was like, all right, I got a car now, and I'm having to drive whatever places. And now this person needs to have this too. So I see that part too, like at one stage, but when you start to grow, you're like, you know what? I do want someone who either has this or complements this. So that is a huge, huge, huge thing. I need to complement what I got going on, and not just, okay, you just bring this to this and you're making me this way. We're cultivating each other, so it's a different than before. Of course, like I said, when we're younger, it's a little bit different, but now it is way, 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 way different how I view things, because I'm bringing certain things, but I do give. It's a fine line between grace and potential. Potential and give it someone like understanding, like, okay, in my head, you have a time frame before you need to get certain things going on, what you got going on, versus like, oh, but one day Johnny's gonna get it.
Not
And
Johnny.
it's been 2 years, and then like Johnny has not. So I'm still picking Johnny up from the corner because of that.
Yeah.
I'm just using a card because that's the easiest one to use, especially living in Atlanta. No, and I've actually done that. And no,
I've done that too.
Yeah, I'm sure we've all been
Did
there.
it recently.
Let's see, Miss T. Hello. She's pretty much saying hello to everyone. Hey, Miss T.
Hey, Miss T.
Shout out to the women over 30.
Yes. Oh, Miss T with the T, y'all. If y'all don't know about Miss T with the T, she is the one to. If y'all haven't subscribed to her, subscribe to her. She has a great community.
Awesome supportive community.
Awesome supportive community. She's the reason why we're even doing lives, because she goes live Monday through Friday every morning. In the morning. Every morning. Monday through Friday. So shout out to her, and her community just rallies together and just like, oh, okay, you need subscribers, you need watch time, you need this, we got you. Like, oh, okay. So shout out to Miss T for her love. Oh,
she got a question for you.
How
far are you willing to stick by your man Johnny? Are you willing to help build him up if he ain't got nothing?
Oh, you mean like a Build-A-Bear?
That's a good question. I think we all should kind of, because I'm sure we all have different we all, will accept certain things and stuff like that. So I think that's actually a good one. So I guess I'll start off with that, right? I am not willing to build Johnny up. Johnny has to already have a what's that called? He has to already like baseline, have his things going on and stuff like that. What I am willing to do with Johnny is inspire him and motivate him to get further. If he's not where he expect to be, and like Elise says, have that potential, I am 100% willing to be that support system that he needs to build him up, right? So he may not be where he wants to be, just like I may not be where I want to be, but I am willing to build him up mentally and, emotionally, and inspire him and motivate him to get where he needs to get. If he's not a good person with, let's say, YouTube, right? And he's not good with editing, I'm willing to help show him how to edit, and we can kind of do it together. I would expect him to learn things that I probably don't know and kind of like put me on. So something like that, I'm willing to put my man on. But he definitely has to, like they say, what you bring it to the table. He got to be bringing something to the table. I'm not about to from the bottom, like take him all the way to the top. He got to at least be halfway. I could meet you halfway, and then we could shoot off together. You know what I'm saying? What about y'all?
Definitely.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, for me, it depends on how long we've known each other, because sometimes I do circle back to other relationships. So like if I've known them in the past and maybe they had a hiccup in life, then I may support. But if it's something new, like we just met and you not close to my level and you need more support or help, nah, not this day and age. I don't see myself supporting as much as somebody that, like I said, I've dealt with in the past. So it just depends on how long you've known them and what all they need help with. Like what you said with YouTube, I'm all for it. If somebody wants to start their own business, because I have my own businesses,
right,
I'm all for it to like get you, like, go ahead, you pen and paper.
Right. Yeah. Like you got to do some of the work. Like at least do the research for your own business, and I'll tell you how to make that list to go forward. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I get you 100%.
I'm quick to be like, go ahead, start your own business, do it. But when it comes to, oh, help me with this, help me.
You gotta want to help yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Interested in learning it. It's one thing to have me do everything for you, and there's another thing to actually learn it but not understand it that much. And so you need that extra person to kind of like break it down a little bit more for you.
Yeah, like what Britt said. I ain't got no kids. I
I
don't
hope
need a
so.
son. I'm not raising the
But
son.
I'm not raising. No, for real. No.
Yeah, no, that's your mama's job.
Yeah, yeah. And then she gonna drink to that.
I didn't even realize I picked up the cup.
He said that's your mama's job on
He said and drop the mic on that one.
period. Okay.
Olivia, what about you?
I probably sound like I'm echoing y'all, but I completely agree. Like, I feel like every person, you know, if you're going to enter a relationship, you got to have a foundation.
Yeah,
That goes for everybody.
yeah.
And just, I don't like, personally, I don't like the helping people with minuscule things that any capable person can do on their own. But if it's
Mhm.
something that, you know, I have maybe a special skill or more knowledge about that I can help
Mhm.
with, no problem with that. But
Right.
as far as like holding your hand on little things, like I've seen people, this is like a popular topic on like Twitter, you know, the man asking the woman, oh, can you write a resume for me? Like, no, I'm not going to do the little thing. I'm not going to apply to a job for you. I'm not going to go look at, you know, whatever that you might want to just pass off to me. You got to want to do it yourself.
Mhm.
And then, you know, that's attractive, seeing somebody that
Yeah.
can do things on their own.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm actually okay with the resume thing though, right?
See, I'm not.
I'm
That's
actually
the
okay with doing the resume, and more so only too because I'm in the corporate world, and so I interview people all day long. I look at resumes all day long to help
Okay.
my people get promoted and go to the next position. I look over their resumes and give them feedback on that. So because I know that's like more of a stronger point for me, I'm okay with doing that. Now I'm not applying for the job for you. Now that is taking it too far. But I'll jazz up your resume and give it to you so you can go ahead and submit to those jobs. But I'm not submitting it to the job.
Yeah, but you have the skill of the resume thing. So yeah, it's different for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that too. I don't. To me, it's I won't say barter, but it's like this is that partnership. You might not be. I'm good with resumes because we do the same thing. I am good with resumes when it comes to a certain point and making it jazzing up because you can give it to me what you got. You can just say, "Oh, this is my stuff." You have to give me something first, and I'm like,
or do it from scratch. Now I ain't
yeah,
doing it
not from scratch, but
Yeah.
give me something. I'm like, "Oh, this is trash. Let me fix it." So
Yeah.
I go ahead and I'm like, "Okay, boom. Oh wow, okay." And can you show me how to do that? Like, how did you get that done? I like that. Like, if I'm helping
I like
you
that.
out,
Yeah.
then with something that I am like, strong in, I'm
Yeah.
good with that. How I look at it as too is there are things that I'm not strong in. What
Yep.
are you strong in that you can show me
Help
as
me with.
that compliment part? It's like,
Yep.
well, okay, I don't know how to do this. Can you show me how to do this? Oh yeah, or let me show you how to do this, babe. Like, okay, like, you know, I'm going to learn how to do it because you are taking the time to show me because that's important. That's that part of quality time too.
And that pouring into each other. It's not.
Yeah,
It's a two-way street. It's not just. You know what I'm saying?
it's not just one of me just
Yeah.
build or whatever because I do have my own things that I got to work on that I need to, you know, need to and want to improve on. And if we can complement each other with that, I'll help you with this because I'm stronger in this. I'm helping you in this because I'm stronger in that. That's key. That's perfect. That's
Absolutely.
golden.
That's
Yes.
called a partnership, though, right?
Yeah.
Whenever
for
you
sure.
slack, your partner should be able to pick up, and vice versa.
Yeah.
I 110% agree. So
Meet me halfway.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Don't have me running.
Cooking, cleaning, doing your resume.
Right. You over here talking about we're gonna have a nice night. No, it's more than just that, sir. Let me break you off something.
Like, no, we're not doing that. But yeah, absolutely. I 1,000% agree with that. Nobody wants that build a bear person. No, because you don't think you're gonna come and build me that way.
Yeah. And then not only that, it is also like I mean, you can only feel so good about yourself with always having to have somebody do something for you. It feels it is probably the most congratulating thing to be able to say, like Cory said, we got businesses. And so the most like congratulating thing to where you pat yourself on the back and be proud of yourself and be like, I'm buying this for myself or whatever, because you actually did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, somebody may have gave you pointers and you may have looked somewhere else for inspiration and all that, but you can actually say like, I did this myself. And don't get me wrong, you know, although we may be independent, I do want a man. I do feel like I want a man and I need a man. But if not, sis gonna handle it on her own.
Yeah, and I know people like, oh, Clutch and Pearl. Did she say she needs a man? Oh my God, it's 2024. You need a man. Listen.
I need a man to have a baby. I need a man to have a marriage. I need a man to be able to cuddle with at night. Like, I'm not saying like I need a man in order to live. You know what I'm saying? But in order to get over this certain threshold and have a family and have, you know, somebody to be able to, you know, start businesses with and all of that, I need a man. But I don't need a man to start a business. I don't need a man to be able to cook at night. I don't need a man to feel loved, to feel like I love myself. Like, I don't need a man in that aspect.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone needs somebody, you know?
Yeah. If
I would like a man.
Yeah. If that is what your goal is, I'm saying it like this. If that is what your goal is, then yeah, you need a man to fulfill your goals, because in your goals, you want to be married, you want to have kids after whatever, and you want the things that you by yourself cannot do. So if that is your goal and your end goal, then absolutely you need, based on your goals, your personal goals, you need a man to do that, and that your partner, your man, is that person that you need it for. So no, not to feel validated as a woman, not to feel validated with that, because I am who I am, and I don't need anybody's validation to let me know who I am. Knocking on.
Yeah, and that's important to have before you get with someone as well. Like, I love being independent, but baby, I'm sick of it. I just got to pack into this whole desk I have to put together, and I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain stuff like, yeah, baby, where you at? Come and find me.
Yeah, listen.
Where he at?
Right. I think I was talking to someone else's live before, and I was like, I said it's about that soft life they were talking about. And I'm like, I lose a little bit more of a soft life every time I lug that trash can up the street.
I know. Had to pull mine down today.
I was like, you can't live a soft life lumberjacking.
Right?
No, and like, no, I'm like Santa Claus. No, taking out the trash and rolling up the hill, and I don't even attempt to cut no grass. But me having to pay to cut the grass this past year, I was like, let it grow.
You stupid.
I did. I let it grow for a long time because I was like, I'm not paying nobody else to cut this damn grass. How much they charge?
Right.
So I understand. In order for that soft life with me is a whole different thing. People think it does. That soft life, I lose a little bit every time I lug that trash. So whatever. In the daily task. So I was like, man, I need that, because that's that compliment thing too. Yes, he might do that. That's just how I was raised, and like, not saying that it's not ladylike to take out the trash. I just didn't do it growing up until I lived on my own. And I had, and stay watching, I had male roommates too. They bastards didn't care. I learned how to take out the trash when I moved out. And I was just like looking at it like, oh, we got to take this out. Oh, we do. Oh, okay. I did not know.
Every week.
Right.
He always took out the trash and let my mom touch the trash, nothing. My dad always did that. So I didn't know what to do. But certain things like that, for me, I'm like, okay. But if, again, that give and take, you're doing that, of course, I'm going to do something that you don't particularly.
Oh, Lisa's gonna get up in there and cook, y'all. That's what she's doing. I'm going over there like I'm her man, baby. What we eating today? Baby, what she gonna do is cook, and I'll be
Right.
excited every time I go over. I'll be like, Fred, what's on the menu?
Nice.
Well, yeah. So that's just how I feel about that. What about you, ladies? And because I know I touched on the soft life, and I do want to hear y'all perspectives on that too, because I know y'all seen that buzzword. I want to live the soft life, soft life, soft life. How do you guys feel about that terminology?
Actually, I used to live in Mexico with a guy I was dating. Whatever happened, he left. I stayed in Mexico, and for the rest of my lease, I lived a soft life. I was enjoying it. I had a good time. Now I'm over it. I'm like, let's go out, do something.
Yeah.
I still live a kind of soft life, but
So with that, really quick, Cory, do you feel as if, and then Olivia, you can answer next too. Do you feel as if, what is your definition of soft life? Is it like when you're in a relationship and you have that spouse to where now you can live that soft life, or do you think you could do that as well as being single?
I think you could do that with a spouse or single. My definition is, say if somebody wants to go out, like my girls, and I don't feel like going out today.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just chilling home,
Yeah.
watching YouTube or whatever. Just I don't have to be on a run, do everything. That's
Yeah.
like my definition of a soft life. Just I could
Yeah.
say no every
Yeah.
once in a while, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
To
Love it.
me, I don't know. I don't really equate soft life. Well, the term that we use, soft
Yeah.
life, anything to do with like a relationship or single. But I think it's just living a life of like leisure and
Mhm.
kind of no issues.
Yeah.
Even if that's just like, the TikTok definition and, people put on a front all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can live a soft life single in a relationship,
Mhm.
young, old. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Love
That
it.
makes sense. That makes perfect sense, actually.
Let's see. I don't know what is it, Jeanette? Okay. I don't know what you're trying to say, girl, but I see a whole bunch of periods. You just keep
Is it period? Oh, we here for it. We're here for it. We are here for it. Okay.
All right, Leasy, start us off with the topics. Let's get into this.
Almost forgot about him. So since we are talking about which I know we're a little sick of it, but talking about embracing independence. How are we embracing independence? What did you call it at this age? How are we embracing our independence with everything?
I had to pull a Cory and take a drink on that. I will say that I've embraced it. And like I said, I'm sick of it. Like I'm always going to have my independence, but I'm also at the point to where I would like a significant other that I can lean on. I would like a significant other that can lead. I would like a significant other where I'm struggling with something with my business, and whether he's business savvy or not, I can talk to him and he could be able to give me a different view on it on life. Of course I have my friends and I go to them and all of that. But I would like someone else. Am I fiending for it? Am I like I gotta have, or else I can't live in life? No, I'm enjoying my independence, but I feel like I've been independent for some time to where now it's time to find that someone. Well, not find him and let him find me, but I've been enjoying it. I will say that I've already embraced it though. I love since we're, this main thing is 35 and older, no kids, 30 older, no kids, no marriage. I enjoy the picking up and go on vacation whenever I'm ready. I enjoy if I go out with my girls and all of that, I could come back home 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't gotta worry about none of that. I enjoy waking up and worrying about just my to-do list. No kids to-do list, no man to-do list, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. I enjoy it, but I would like it. But again, I'm not in need to where I am going to lose my self-love, lose everything through this independence that I've gained and learned about myself just to be in a relationship.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree, and I definitely understand the part of, because sometimes, and for me, like literally, my core married or either have kids, like it's a whole thing. So sometimes just like, oh, you have that longing, and like I said, me being at the age, I'll be 40 next year. I'm like, I'm wanting it, but I'm also like, you know what? But
When it comes, it comes.
take your time.
Mhm.
Yeah, it comes,
Yeah.
it comes. Take your
Yeah.
time. I'm not trying to rush nothing. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be doing a 50 episode or what? Who did I marry?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do that.
Right.
I'm not trying to rush in anything. I'm not like, nothing like that. I'm like, you know what? Because sometimes when you rush stuff or you try to this, whatever, it loses it and you can get lost in the sauce. We talked about like yellow flags. I don't do the yellow flags no more.
Yeah.
I don't see red. I don't see green. I see yellow. But
Yeah.
I don't do that no more. But I also, am like, you know what, just chill and wait and see. And when I started doing that, like, recently, it's like, oh, doors started to open up more easier. And I'm just like, chill, girl. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling and letting it flow, because what my sisters and friends have said, like, you're not going to get this moment back. Once you in there and you guys have, that's it. That's it. I be seeing the TikToks where the women be like trying to hide from the kids in the bathroom. I need a moment. And the little fingers underneath the door. I'm like, all right. So
yes.
enjoying the moments now, because once you get it, you're not going to get that back.
Yeah.
Ever, because of that, or years from now when everyone's out the house or something like that. But I'm enjoying the moments now. What about?
So really quick before we get into them, right? Because we're just assuming, but not everyone want it, because that's the reason why I'm at this point right now. I didn't want kids growing up because I will say I was extremely selfish. I'm the only child by my mom. My dad got a lot of kids. And so I see myself getting married, but I just didn't want kids. I didn't start thinking about and wanting kids until I hit 30 on the dot, literally. So before you guys answer that question as well, because we don't want to just assume, do you guys want kids, and do you guys also want to be married?
I'll go first. I think I'm like indifferent on both being married or having kids. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I do enjoy my independence. So I don't feel like I'm longing for that to be taken away from me. So I'm just chilling. But also, I don't know, like you said, I see the funny videos. I also see people in my real life who have kids, and I've seen them before, before having a family, being married, having kids, and I see them after, and they're not in a bad way, but they're just completely different people. So I still enjoy who I am right now, and I don't think I'm ready just yet to.
That's fair.
That new person.
Yeah, I'm happy to ask you guys. I'm happy that I asked you guys like that. Ask you guys that, because there are going to be, people out there that watch that may feel exactly like you, Olivia, where they're like, I'm just bracing it. And then there are going to be some women that's like, I needed it yesterday, last year. So yeah, but I completely agree with you 100%, Olivia. What about you, Cory?
I've always grown up wanting kids. I was never really like, oh, I need to have kids by this age, but I just, like most people, they just wanted kids. Now that I'm knocking on 40, I don't see it the same. Even maybe a couple of years ago, I'm like, do I really want to bring kids in this world, period, because of what's going on? Do I want to bring kids knocking on 40? Do I want to bring kids in the world and stop my independence because I don't have to share? I don't have to answer to them. I could go away whenever I want to. I can eat whatever I want to. My money is my money. It's just a lot of aspects to not having kids, having your own independence, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I agree. And to just piggyback what you were saying too, I was, when I always wanted kids, and I always had the number and the age, and me having the number. Now let me tell you something. It decreased every few years. I want 4 kids, and I want to adopt 1, so that's 5 total. Because I wanted all that. The older I got, ask me how many I want.
One and only one.
One and a dog. Okay, so I'm cool with that. Like I'm cool with that. And you're right. Thinking like the older you get, you're like, you know what? It's crazy. So some people just now are doing the things that I've been doing all this time while they were married.
Yes, that too is reverse. Yes.
Listen, and they're like, oh, you're about to start and I'm about to finish. And I'm like,
like they're going to the clubs now.
Right.
And the clubs ain't what they used to be. They late.
Right. Because they had that responsibility. And like Olivia said, they're different. They became completely different. And now, even with them, and I'm gonna say, I'm not talking about any particular, if y'all watching this, I'm just something I've seen with other people, is that because they don't have that same independence I have, when they do go out, they wild out. Like they be wilding, like, this is my only night out for the year.
Yeah.
Man, I'm about to call the people on you. Like, why can't you leave the house? I'm
Your kids are still at home, you gotta make it home safe.
Right. They're acting like a fool, like it's a hangover episode or a movie. Like, where are they? So, and again, not anyone personally I know, but I've seen it, and I'm just like, okay, I've heard stories. I'm like, why are y'all doing all of that? Like, too much. So I completely and utterly agree with that. That whole different thing is different, but it's not a bad different, like you said.
Yeah.
You when something happens, you got to make that change. Like, and that's just anything in your life. Like when I have to, like, when I had COVID, it was Lord, that's something different. I had to change the way. It was a wake up call. I had to change certain things. I'm like, all right, I need to start working out more and start doing this more. When something happens during your life, an event happens in your life, you have to make certain changes to, address it and prevent stuff like that. Yeah, adapting to it. So that's the major thing that I'm thinking about too. So good stuff. I am glad you asked that question, because again, not everybody does want that situation. If it comes, it comes. When it comes, how it comes, whatever. I feel like I'm gonna say this, Olivia. I feel like this. So the people who don't really expect it or want it, they ain't the one that happened to them real out of nowhere. Not expect.
I agree with you.
But I'm the exception.
All right, y'all. What's today's date? We're gonna mark the word. So check out her vlog. She's gonna be like, so you know what happened 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, right.
Or go to, like, watch. This is the people who don't expect it the most. And it's crazy. So we'll see. We're gonna mark the calendar.
Okay. So let me ask y'all too. Let's say you guys get to an age. Let's say you get to 40, 42, right? And now you're finally like, you want kids, and of course, unless you got big money, right? It could be a little hard with having a kid. Would you guys adopt? Like, or would you adopt, or would you just be like, I'm at the age, and so whatever, just no kids?
Me right now, I'm open to both options. But if and when that time comes, I don't know. It depends on where I am in life. Like, I'm completely open to adopting. And I was gonna say, I feel like everybody, when you're a kid,
I was going to say, I love Olivia.
I feel like when you're kids, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna adopt like 10 kids, and I'm gonna have 10 more kids, and so I still hold on to that. Like, I think we all have a little bit of, compassion, where it's like, I wouldn't completely shut out adopting a kid. So yeah, that's an open option for me down the line. But also, I'm okay with just never.
Yeah. So Ruby Baby said, I wanted kids, but I'm 46 now. F them kids. I'm the LOL. The married girls I talk to are miserable. COVID and cancer changed my mindset. Just want to travel and enjoy life. Absolutely.
I think major life events that just people go through, it changes your perception a lot. So yeah, maybe when I was like 20 or 21, I was like, oh yeah, typical, my life will go the typical way. But things happen, and you're like,
the world was different back then.
Yeah. The world and the men. I'm not saying it ain't good men out there, but they definitely changed. They're not like our grandpas and the older men then. No, they listen. I'm not gonna put it all on them, right? Because a lot of women have made them men be like that. They've made
Mm-hmm.
them feel like, now with people, and not to judge anyone or whatever float your boat, but now with the poly relationships and the women okay with being the side chick, whether he married or not, and
Mm-hmm.
all of that, it literally, what women don't understand, for the women that's like that, you're with a man like that, right? But you really want him to yourself, when you're not realizing that you're really messing the man up that you may be looking for. You get what I'm saying? By being so open with sharing. I ain't sharing, baby. You gonna mess around and find me on
Snap.
that
IG channel.
oh, friend. How did you know what I was going to
I
say?
knew it. I knew it. Snap.
Yeah, like the old school. Who was that? SWV. You're my little secret. Ain't no secret out here. No.
Not your mother. Yeah, no, and no. Uh, Adoption is definitely on the table for sure. That's just something
Yeah.
that I've wanted to do forever. We used to have foster children in our house, so that's just
Yeah.
something that I've always wanted to do. So that's not an option.
Yeah.
I wouldn't probably, I would have to have like you said, money to do that, because I really wouldn't want to bring a child into a single household. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want,
Especially at this age, right? We
yeah, at this age.
had
Yeah.
kids at 20 if that's what we wanted.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to bring a child into a single, unless, like I said, unless I had the money, and I do have my support. I have my family like that, and they would never be lonely. But me, and that's just me thinking like, okay, well, I need to be this and this. But I mean, it's not completely right, but I wouldn't want to do that solely alone either, just because I want to give that child everything if I am adopting, like everything that they're missing out on. And it could be just like I just need one parent to love, and if I feel that gumption, I'm like, okay, I'll just do that if I'm not, married or in a relationship like that. But
that single parenting, listen, my mom, I sent her through it. You know what I'm saying? But my mom she was strong. She was definitely a strong single mother that did whatever she needed to do. I went and needed for absolutely nothing. But I also had a godmother who played that role. And not to say that my father wasn't in my life, because he is. But he wasn't fully there as he should have been. Look, I was thinking about, should I say that, because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but it's just the truth. You get what I'm saying? He could have definitely been there more than he was. But he's there. But my mom was very much a single mother, and I seen what she had to go through. I seen how many jobs she had to work. I seen whenever it was some senior project, a senior trip, or graduation, college, all of that. She did that. And I didn't have to wonder, was my mother struggling? Like, of course, she made it look good. Obviously, when I got older, I started to see it more. But yeah, that one parent household, and Leasy is very fortunate to be able to have both parents that is married. And so I can understand your standpoint as well. Like, it could be done. I've seen it, and I lived in a 2-parent household. And so you wouldn't want to bring a kid in like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. We got a few comments. Hello. Kenyatta, I'll be on first 48. I think she referred to what we were saying as far as like undercover. You're my little secret.
And she would. Absolutely. She definitely would. I wanted to jump over to the other one because we have touched on it a couple of times about the travel and adventure situation, because I know Cory has her Fork and Fly. You can talk about that too, business, whatever. And I know Olivia travels, and y'all all travel, and we all traveling here. So, I mean, that's like that. I feel like, is it safe to say that that's kind of our norm, like what we do, like, or that's something that, okay, I'm just doing it to get away, or just like, no, this is just a part of me. I'm a traveler. I do this. Like, I'll do it by myself if I need to.
Yeah. I would say it's both.
Mhm.
Um, it's the norm, but it's also a mental thing for me. Like,
Mhm.
regardless of what I'm going on, whatever I have going on in life, honestly, when I go on vacation, I tone all of that out and I really soak it in. I really appreciate it. I really thank God. And that goes back to that independency as well, is that I enjoy being able to do that
Mhm.
and worry about just me. Yes, it will be great to be able to do that with a significant other as well. Um, but like you said, when you have kids and all that, yeah, you can travel with your kids and all that, but you need a mental break away from them as well. And so that traveling for me now, being single, I am fully soaking it all up because, like we all have said, once you start that family and those kids, like your life really do change. It does
Mhm.
change because now you're not living for just yourself. You're living for your kids, you're living for your husband and things like that. And so for me, as far as being single, I need it in my life. Like, when I tell you, I will much rather not go out and not do anything and save for that trip
Mhm.
Mhm.
all day long.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Corey.
agree. I agree. It's a lifestyle, and
Yeah.
it's my business.
Mhm.
Um, I love it.
You
Like
want
you
to go
just
ahead and put your cell phone and talk about
But
your
if
business?
you plug that thing. Go ahead and plug that
And
thing.
then also, Olivia and Cory, put y'all
wait.
when the live
Yeah.
is up, I'll put
Somebody talk. Let me
it
go get my battery charger.
there.
Okay.
Okay. So Olivia, you want to elaborate on that, and then also put your link in there. So we don't have Nightbot just yet to all plug our links. But put it
Yeah.
in there so everyone that's in here can subscribe to you guys. And then, like I said, when the live is over, I'll put you guys' link in there for anyone that watched the replay. They can click on all of our links.
Put the link in the
In the
comments.
yeah.
Yeah. The comments.
Mhm.
Okay. So, oh yeah. So about the travel thing, I definitely agree. I wanted to touch on one thing though.
Go ahead.
One of you guys said something about being selfish, and I think about that all the time because I'm
Mhm.
like, travel. I love to travel. Been doing it since I was a kid. That's like definitely top three, top two, maybe number one priority in my life.
Absolutely.
And it's like, if I were to say have kids, yes, I would definitely have to sacrifice on the amount that I travel.
Yeah.
And you might ask someone and they say, "Oh, that's selfish that you won't even sit down for a minute. You won't not travel and start a family." But it's like I'm only living for me. So I think I'm allowed to be selfish.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, if there's ever a time where being selfish is acceptable, it would be
For your
being a
happiness. And if
person. Yeah,
traveling is happiness, then that's what it is.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Selfish. She's like, it tickled me sometimes. People be like, "Oh, you're gonna." It's like,
It's almost like you jealous, sis. Yeah.
yeah, like you mad? You
Yeah.
mad? You mad? You mad?
And it
Oh,
works on some people, but I've like purposely gotten over that. Like,
yeah,
okay, yeah, if you want to call me selfish, then yes, now what? Like,
right. Yeah,
But we was talking about that too in our last live, as far as it's important to be selfish for self,
mhm.
Mhm.
especially when you're always doing for others. You're always on the go, making all these different trips because everybody's calling you and they need you and all of that. When it comes to self and self love, I feel that is really, I'll say that I feel that's the only time for you that it is a-okay to be selfish, when
yeah,
it is for self. Absolutely.
yeah. And like Corey had said earlier, saying no is not selfish. It
No. Yeah.
literally, first of all, it's a complete sentence. Second of all, that's
It's a complete sentence. One word. No.
and I don't gotta tell you why either. I can just say
That part. That part.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, Corey back and plugged in.
Yes,
Go
yes.
ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
Wait, what was the
Don't
question
forget,
again?
Corey,
Sorry.
The
so
plug.
okay.
Go
So
ahead.
plug. So put your link in, and then we're talking about as far as what is it as far as vacation, traveling and adventure. So taking trips. And then also plug your business since we're talking about traveling and what you do.
My business is Fork and Fly. It specializes in food and travel. Like I said a few minutes ago, it's in my blood. It's my luxury. It's what I need to do every so often. And not even just looking at it as a business standpoint. I I honestly believe everyone should vacation every once in a while. Get away from the hustle and bustle. If you have kids, if you don't, if you have a spouse, if you don't, just get away. It's
Yeah,
so much more to life out there. Um,
absolutely.
like I said, I'm leaving for Jamaica tomorrow. Much
Period.
needed. This
Cory
is
said, "Screw what they saying about Jamaica. I'm still going."
exactly. I'm still going. So it's a little bit of business and just relaxation for myself. But
Yeah.
yeah, I I I don't want to change it. Like if I do get kids or a spouse, they gotta travel. One of my checklists is for a spouse or a guy or boyfriend, they gotta have a passport. If not, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. You will catch me on the next flight. You'll be home
You're not
waiting
gonna
for
help
me to
him get
come
that
home.
passport, Cory.
Huh?
You're not gonna
Build
help
him
him get
up.
that passport. You ain't
Build
gonna
him
You
be
up.
gotta have that
take him to the post
passport.
office to take that picture, girl.
Yeah, I don't want, and then I don't want to have to go away and wondering what you're doing back home when I'm in Jamaica or something. Like we need
Yeah.
to go together. Not every time, but
Yeah.
at least let it be an option.
That's that QT. Like, why not QT quality time in
Mm-hmm.
when you can see the blue water? Like, why not? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
That really, 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 like, you know how that movie was Must Love Dog? Must have a passport. Must be able to
and yes.
yeah, and y'all, and to all y'all out there, is nothing wrong with traveling United States or whatever. Not at all.
Yeah.
However, when you're, and that's when we talk about stages before. The stage in my life I am now, I have traveled internationally, and I don't mind going back to countries that I've been to with my significant other because they haven't been there before.
Right.
But I like mix it up. We can go to, because I've never been to Colorado, and I was just like, oh man, I want to go. That's really really dope. Y'all had a really really great time and everything. And I'm just like, see there I tried. Some we gotta do better, us people. Okay, like what's up there? Just I don't know how to ski. I don't know how to whatever. Okay, it's just being
Mm-hmm.
in the different
Yeah.
atmosphere and a different environment.
Yeah.
We gotta change our environment sometimes to learn more about other things that's going on in the world or everything that's going on. Period. I know when Lachey went to Jamaica, she had a whole different perspective that she had came with and she left
Yeah.
with. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to broaden that horizon, and that's why that number has decreased too. The one, I want to be able to like, hey, hit baby, and jump on a plane and have them learn about different countries and cultures, and also
Mm-hmm.
so you won't think, oh my god, be impressed by this person trying to whisk you off somewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
like my mom took me that when I was 10. What else she got? Like you want
Mm-hmm.
to take a little fugazi, whatever stuff.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I too want to add on to there, like Leasy said, traveling within the US is great. If you can't go out the country, just go to a state over from you. Like it doesn't have to be like super out the country. Hell, you could drive 2 hours away within the same state and still look at that as
Mm-hmm.
a vacation. Or you could do a staycation where you just go and get a hotel within your same state for that weekend and do things you haven't done. But what I will say personally and for me and how I feel is you are not living until you are traveling. Other than that, I personally do feel you are just existing in the world. And
Mm-hmm.
what I will also add on to that is the more I started to travel out of the country, honestly, I started to really appreciate my life. I started to really appreciate being from the United States. And I started to understand why other countries can't stand us because we are spoiled as hell. As you travel out of the country, and then not only that, you really get to learn other cultures and you really get to understand them more. And then they be excited to understand us more.
Yeah.
And you really start to, like I said, you really just start to appreciate life. And if you are, religious, as far as I'm saying, God, whether it's Baptist or Christian. You're just so thankful for the life that you have, because you go to other countries and we can be brand down Louis, Gucci, Prada, you know what I'm saying, and everything, and they don't have that luxury. Or like I was saying in the other live, like we get notifications if our water is about to be shut off because it's something they're doing outside, or if our Wi-Fi is about to go out. Xfinity or whoever you have will message you and be like, hey, Wi-Fi is out for a few hours, or whatever the case may be. When you go out of the country, and the experience that I had in Jamaica, we had a split second of freaking out because we came from all of these excursions. Obviously, coming back home, we ready to shower. We came back to no water. We had no understanding, y'all. We had no understanding whatsoever. We like, cancel it. We're going to another Airbnb. But when they sat us down and literally explained everything to us and told us how, you know, they don't have the luxury. And although we may think that they may not have the luxury we have, you really don't know until you experience it. You get what I'm saying? And that was a humbling experience for me. Like, and although we didn't have water, we had to be appreciative that although we didn't have water, they came up with a solution. They had hella buckets of waters for us to even be able to do a regular wash up. We all did a little wash up real quick. You know what I'm saying? But we appreciated that they found a solution for us. Although we can't turn the water on physically and have it come out the shower head, we still had multiple buckets to where you got one to wash up, one to rinse. And it was so much water to where I felt like I had the water coming out of the shower head, right? But it was a humbling experience. And again, it had me to appreciate again what I have. You know what I'm saying? And so anybody that can travel out of the country, please do it. And if you feel like you can't, you literally can. When I first started traveling, I didn't have it like that. And even though I still have it to where I can't do it, I still do it how I used to do it, which is I'm not buying a full round trip. I'm getting my ticket there, and then I'll wait a few more checks. I'll get my ticket coming back, and then I'll wait a few more checks, and then I get my Airbnb or my hotel. Like, don't feel pressure to have to do it all in one walk. I got to get my.
Or you get a travel agent and you do a $300 deposit, and your
that
fit
part,
is
girl, you better plug it. You better plug it. But any time that you can travel, if you're like really going through it and you really like, I'm not where I want to be and all of that, there is always someone that is worse off than you.
Yeah.
And so when you start to, in the US, like I said, we all got the same thing. But once you go out the country, Mexico and all of that, like you gonna see some people walking around with no shoes on. You're gonna see somebody with a dirty t-shirt on. You're going to, and this is the norm for them. It's not the norm for us, but like I said, I started to really appreciate my life. I appreciated where I'm from, and I appreciated the ability to literally hop and jump and go wherever I want. The other countries does not have that ability. They can't just get a passport and just start traveling and getting stamps, but we can. So I just wanted to add that in there. Please take that trip, y'all. If you feel like you are not where you want to be in life and you're not happy and all of that, I promise you that trip out that country gonna humble you. I promise you it is.
I'm gonna just say this real quick because we all are implants from different parts of the country. And that was like one of the reasons of me just leaving my environment, because, you know, growing up, especially in a city environment where, you know, for me, doing the most, and like, this is nothing, Cory, Olivia, I stopped dating New York guys for the longest time.
I'm looking for them now.
This is why, because I'm not saying all of them, but some of them, because I'm down here now, but some of them just could not see outside their city or outside their borough or outside of whatever. Too. They're like, I don't want to leave here. What do you mean leave?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What you mean? There's a whole other world out there, a whole other state that you. But
a whole nother borough. I know people who live in Brooklyn who has never been to Manhattan or Queens. Jump on the bus, jump on the train. 10 minutes.
That's how Valley people is too. So I feel y'all 100%.
Right. Like, come on. Like, just that is like something that really was a wake up
scary.
Yeah. I had to to dump somebody. That's a story. No, because I was mad. Like he would, and I didn't notice it then because it was. I forgot. I think it was my. I don't know if it was my 18th. No. We'll say it's 21st birthday. My 21st birthday, and I'm like, "Where you at?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm about to lying. I'm gonna get on the train at like what you would call it from New York down to Atlantic City." Okay, and he didn't come. He was like, "I mean, I didn't know what to do." Click, like I was done. He did not want to leave. He did not want to leave. I forgot what he said. It was not Yonkers. He didn't want to leave Yonkers to come down or whatever. And I was just like, oh, all right. So yeah, just please, whoever take that step out the state at least. At the least, baby steps. Baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
So let's see. Let's go into the social media stigma and stereotype of being unmarried and childless over 30.
So
who wants to start that off?
I'll start. I just know that unmarried, childless women are perceived as being jaded a lot of the time, where it's like, I'm just chilling, I'm fine, I have no issue one way or another. But a lot of them, the whole turning into a cat lady, those comments, all that, people joke about it, but some people really do feel that way. But
yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't affect me as much as I know it affects other people.
Yeah, because it definitely can. I know some friends are in the same boat as me, and they they don't have those kids and they're not married, and they really it's almost to the point to where they can't enjoy life anymore because they don't have that package deal, I would say. So yeah, no, I agree with you 100% on that, Olivia.
A good example, I don't know if you guys know of her, but Lolo Jones. Do you guys know who that is? She's like an Olympic athlete, and she's pretty well known, like maybe like a Z-list celebrity. But every time she's in the media, it's because she's crying, complaining that she's still unmarried and childless. And I think she might have turned 40 maybe like 2 years ago or so. But that's all people know her of now. She's a whole Olympian, a famous athlete, but she's known for, crying and feeling, whatever, feeling the emotions of being unmarried and childless. And I'm like, that is so sad. She has all this going for her, and people know her for that.
And the crazy thing about it is, I was talking to a friend, right? And we was this was a topic that we were talking about, and she was in the same boat, like always, like feeling real down. I kind of have to like motivate her with it. But like I explained to her, like, for example, you got married couples, right? Who, let's say the woman is bisexual, and let's say she loves women, and she's still getting cheated on by her husband. She will go out to the club and bring 5 chicks home, and he's still gonna cheat. So it's kind of still like, it could still happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you have that life or whatever, all of those bad things could still happen. And so you gotta just enjoy it and go for the ride. Yeah, like I said, you can have those lonely moments. And it's okay to have those lonely moments. But again, you gotta pick yourself back up. There's still a lot to life. Life is not just getting married and having kids. And so that's why me and Elise were super excited about doing this, because don't assume because I don't have a husband and I don't have kids that I can't fully enjoy life, or try to tell me that I'm unhappy. I'm very much happy. Don't just assume that I'm not happy because I'm not where society sees that I should be or where I'm supposed to fit in. I'm actually tired of those comments. And to be honest, being quite frank, and no tea, no shade, but a lot of those women wish that they're where we are, where we can travel. Like, I've talked to married people and people that's not married, where they say, girl, enjoy your life. Like, they'll let you know, like, I wish I would have waited until your age to have kids. I wish I would have, or they do all of that, and it's the financial part is getting to them to where they can't even travel anymore, or they don't have that support system where they can drop their kids off at a grandparent house or a best friend or whatever. Because nowadays, well, being you definitely gotta. It ain't nowadays, always been. You can't just drop your kid off anywhere. You gotta really trust somebody, and because they're trying to live the life that we are living, um, they can put their child in a situation that they didn't technically want, but because you're trying to live that life right for yourself and all of that, it could be a messed up situation that you put your child in.
Yep.
And so it's important for everyone out there that is 30 plus that may not be where they want when it comes to having kids and husband. It's a-okay. Enjoy your life while you can. It's like I said, it's more to life than just that. And not only that, you have to be okay with self and being alone and being independent and enjoying your own company and taking these solo trips or going to have lunch by yourself and all of that before you can really find that significant other that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So when it comes to social media,
yeah,
sorry.
No, you're good.
When it comes to social media, I feel like it's good and bad for me. The bad part, I see like friends and family younger than me have families, kids, husbands, and I'll be like, I have my moments where I'm sad,
Yeah.
honestly, like, oh, I wish.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the bad part about social media because I look and like I envision like, wow.
Yeah.
But on the good end, like I look at high school friends, like, okay, I'm not the only one who don't have kids,
Yeah.
who ain't married. So I like to look at that, like, okay, I'm not the last of Mohegans or whatever you want to call it. So I feel like social media plays a part both ways for me. Even back then, I've had people in my life who had kids at a younger age, and they were kind of jealous that I didn't have kids and I was able to travel and do what I want. But I'm like, you chose to have kids. I chose not to have kids. Don't look at me because I could feel the same way with you that I'm jealous that you had kids. You started at an early age, and now here I am 40 almost.
Yeah.
Wishing that I started, but then I don't. So it balances. Like people may look at you one way, but then they don't think how you feel the other way. So social media.
Yeah, social media, it depending on what you're going through and how you're feeling, you really have to move your social media around, because social media it's a good, like you said, it's a good part to it and it's a bad part to it, right? Everyone wants to live like social media. Those people who don't really show what real life is about, right? And they're only putting on for social media or whatever the case may be. Yeah, or whatever the case may be. And so one of the things for me, and I was telling Leasy about this, I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I feel like I do need to do it. We really have to change our social media around to show us only what we want. Because I feel like social media is a good thing and a bad thing. If you're mad and sad, you're gonna find some mad and sad things on your social media. If you're happy and blissful and you're where you want to be and all of that, you're going to find that. And so you have to, one of the things that I had ended up seeing, she was talking about how you have to set up your news feed to feed you. And that is so true. Like when I tell you, I'm excited to take the break away from the gossip pages, because and especially when you're struggling like mentally, you have to literally detach yourself from that. Unfollow all of these gossip pages that's only posting negative things. Follow the people that is going to help motivate you and get you back on track or whatever the case may be. Like you got to really set it up to where it feeds what you want to see. Like if you are at a point in life where you need only inspiration and only motivation, detach and unfollow everybody else that's outside of that may be negative or whatever, to help you get back on track. So yeah, that's social media, give or take.
Yeah, it's a whole tool.
Yeah.
It's a whole school, and you're right. You have to change your algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
And it only takes one click. I saw one little. I was like, oh, I didn't even know it was a engagement ring. I just saw it, and I was just like, and I clicked on it, and I liked it. I had not hit. I'm like, hey, when is your what? Where is he? What do you mean with the big bag? Like all that stuff, and it just feeds you like, oh my god, I need to get into a headspace or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, you know, I feel you when it comes to when you're. I'm glad I didn't marry or have any children when I was like 21, fresh out. Because in my high school, I went to like a private school. They all like my old teachers say, yeah, the women go to college get their MRS degree, so they get that Mrs. degree. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't do that because I had to find myself too, and you really don't before you make a that attachment, you got to really know who you are anyway. So I'm glad, but social media, yes, absolutely does all of that where it comes to feeding you that, oh, this, and all that stuff. And all that glitters ain't gold either. People show you what they want you to see, not the reality of everything. Too.
Mind you, they depress the kids' fingers under the door.
Right.
Mommy, open up. Yeah.
Why? So I get all of that. Something popped in my head when I don't remember who was talking. Something popped in my head. I think it was Olivia. Popped in my head. Have you guys ever had a dating situation? Anyone ask you, like a guy asked you, like, oh, how old are you? You ain't got what's wrong? Not what's wrong with you, maybe not those words, but implying that something is wrong with you because, or wait, why? Why don't you? Because I didn't want to. No, seriously. Can you like I've had someone ask, wait, no, that don't seem right.
Yeah.
Really question me like, you're this age, no kids, single or whatever, like questioning like who I am or like something.
And what's wrong with you?
Yeah. And I'm like, but no, like,
that Philly almost jumped out.
boy. But have you guys ever had anyone, and not those exact words, question that about you when you first in that interaction? They might not. That person never makes it offline for me. Offline. Oh, okay. Next. But has anyone ever asked you those questions in dating a man?
Me? No. I actually, from what I can remember or what I know, I've never dated someone who had kids already. So if I'm dating you, chances are you don't have kids either, and you don't want me to ask you that. So no, I've never gotten that question. I've heard that people ask that, but never got it. And I'm glad I never got it because
what was the first 48? First 24th. I'm like, yeah, I did it. So case that. What about you, Cory?
I've gotten like not that question, but like, oh, do you want kids? Like that. I'm like, not until I have a ring on my finger and I just leave it at that. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You don't need to know all my business. We ain't at that level yet.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's literally like I said, because I've used dating apps and that's something I'm like, it's crazy.
I feel like I'm the prize actually. Like, getting a lady that's don't have kids and stuff. Like, come on, we can take over the world. Like, I look at it like that.
Yeah, but it's not even like something I'm like. It's almost like they want to make you feel bad for it a little bit. Like, oh dang, well, thanks. Like, but and it's nothing wrong with having children either because you know that's great and everything. But don't look at me like. Because y'all are the ones that be making it seem like, oh man, I don't want to marry nobody or have nobody with no kids because of y'all experience with it. So, you know, okay, I'm not a unicorn. Clearly, we all are here, but you know, I was just wondering anything alluding to that question, and maybe not just from men, women your age too, kind of like sideways, huh? Okay, you don't. I don't think I've had the women ask me that. Maybe. No, I've never had a woman ask me that or just be like, oh, okay. But men, yeah, I've had one or two ask me, not saying what's wrong with that one, But yeah, definitely had that. Okay.
One thing I will say is I'm pretty sure on dating apps I put that I prefer that they don't have kids. So that's probably why I don't encounter guys with kids that much. And then as far as like my friends and stuff, yeah, like my close friends, they'll not in a mean way, but they just check in like, hey, you want to have kids? Not malicious at all. And I just answer them like, maybe, maybe not. And then it just moves on.
Yeah.
So I want to touch on that too, Olivia. Because that's a good thing that you brought up. So really quick before I get into there, I've had men and women ask me that, right? I haven't had a guy. So in the beginning stage, before we even became an item, I've had, guys like, ask, for my number, how old are you, blase blue. And they ask like Cory was saying, like, well, do you want to have kids or something like that? But I've had male friends that are actually my male friends be like, what's going on? Like, why you ain't had kids? Like, not actually saying what's wrong with you, but like, why aren't you? Because they assume because you're pretty and you got things together and all of that, like you should already have it. Like I said, I honestly used to never want kids. But then as I grew up, and like I said, when I became 30, because I'm my mom's only child, honestly, the only thing that made me start thinking about kids is because I was like, I'm my mom's only child. And I feel like I should give her a grandchild. But again, that was me thinking for her and not for myself. You get what I'm saying? And so then I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to have kids or whatever. And now I'm at that stage where, I do want to have kids and I do want to have a family. But I've had men and women both ask me that. But again, mainly like my friends, like the women and the men. Now, as far as what Olivia said, I want to touch on that, right? Because I used to be that way. And so I used to be, like Olivia said, I used to only want to date guys that didn't have kids, right? But as I've went through experiences with my friends and them calling me and telling me all these stories and all of this and all of that, a lot of the crazy stories was mainly from the friends where it was their first child and the guy's first child. And I've heard better experiences from friends that had a kid with a guy that already have, even if it's just one child. And so I started to think about that. Like, as I've gotten older and again, other experiences, I changed my viewpoint as far as no longer wanting to date. I actually don't want it. I mean, it would be nice. He would have to be my husband, to be honest with you. But I would actually much rather now date someone that have at least one child. Now, I don't want no 5 with 4 different baby mamas and all that, only because I want to be able to see the experience if we're not together. If we're not together, will you still be in my child's life? And so with me, I'm able to see how they are with their kids when they're no longer with their baby mama. And if I see that he's a good father, not super disrespecting his baby mama and all of that, then I'm able to see, like, God willing, we're able to work it out, get married and all of that. But if not, at least I know you will be a good father. So what do you guys think about that? Because that was a good thing that you brought up, Olivia.
I think your point was really good. It makes sense. And I've heard of, like older men and women that when it even comes to marriage, some people prefer people that have been married and went through their divorce and now they'll marry them because they have had that experience.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like there's proof of how that went. And then whether the way that person handled it is what you want to introduce in your life.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
I guess I'm a little different. Mine has always been
different, baby. That's why we got 4 here.
Mine has always been somebody who don't have kids. Now that, above 30, I'm like, if I want a guy who's above 30, 40, chances are they're going to have kids. We're not in our 20s, where older, he might not have a kid, but don't have 5, 4.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Even 3 kids.
On that. Yeah, I'm with you. 100%.
One, and if it's one, they got to be above a certain age. Like, I don't want nobody who has a 3-year-old. of 5. I think my minimum is like maybe 12. Because if they're young, that's the whole nother ballpark. You probably still talking to whatever. I don't want to get into that. But yeah, kids wise, now I'm open to, like I said, somebody having 1 kid, but now I'm talking to somebody and he has 0 kids. And he's from New York. But yeah, like the whole kid and married before. Definitely marriage. No, I don't want nobody who's been married before. Like, I hear what you said is good because they experienced it, but I won't be the only one when it comes to that.
Yeah, no, when it comes to marriage, I would definitely love to be that one marriage. But that kid is a totally different thing. Like you said, I would much rather one, even 2 is okay. And yeah, two is even okay. 3 may be pushing it, but my future husband could be the one with 3 kids, right? And so I'm okay with that as well. But if it comes to that 3, like you said, that age range, it completely matters. Like, that baby cannot be 1 years old. I ain't got time, because she's still gonna think that you hers, even though you may think that she is no longer yours. She may very much well feel like you is hers. But I definitely will want to be the first marriage. Absolutely. What about you, Elise? You're on mute, sugar pudding.
Sorry. I for me, and this is just, I'm about to get a little whatever you call it. It just really depends on, because I'm whatever I feel like God leads me to, then that's what I'm gonna do. Because I can't. I've used to shut them down, show whatever if certain things, and I'm like, some things I missed opportunities on.
Yeah.
But I right now am dealing with how I'm doing things, and trusting that process, because it really, like I said, younger, yeah, I would just cut off. My cutoff game was super, whatever, but maybe over crazy reasons too. But I'm right now like trusting God really, and making sure that I'm doing that in my relationship, to say, okay, am I supposed to go this way? Because you never know with that situation. People can have that amount of kids and still take the care of them and their relationships and everything like that, and then making sure that you feel comfortable in there. I want to see how you make me feel with the relationship you already have with your baby mom or your ex-wife or whatever, and see how that coexists as well. So I'm good with that. Of course, preference wise, you want something like that, right? You want, because number 1, too, I do want, so I am good with someone with kids, because if you want a tribe and you ain't got no kids now, that ship sailed about 10 years ago. You ain't getting a tribe from me. So, because I've had that conversation before where I'm like, hey, oh no, I don't have any. I mean, okay, yeah, I really, really, and I learned that men are like, oh no, I really, really want a whole whatever. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nah. I might not be able to do that for you, bro. You might have to keep it pushing. But, and I don't want someone outside, or that little temptation to be like, yeah, I'm gonna just go and do this. I don't want any of that craziness or whatever. So it's, for me, it just really depends on that. Like, I have to be really led to do it and stay in it and work on it. And if things start revealing itself and showing itself to be positive in that way, and like, okay, we can make this work in this way, or it just keeps leading to that, because I tried to avoid it like the plague, but it just keeps coming up and it works, I'm good with it. I'm good with it, because sometimes people get married too when they were like 18. Like, I've had someone who got married when they were young because they were, love, happiness, and all that stuff, and then they get divorced. So to me, I'm not saying it doesn't count as a marriage, but you were still young. You were still a kid, right?
Yeah, no, that's different. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
I actually was just watching, I don't know if you guys watch it, but I was just watching Love is Blind. And that was one of the things. The girl was basically saying how she got married to her high school sweetheart, and she was 18 years old, and the guy completely was like, no, but now she's in her 30s, and she's like, okay, she's willing to get married again. But he was like, no, that's a problem because you were already married. Now, in that case, Leasy, I agree with you 100%. That is completely different. Although, and like you said, I definitely never want to block my blessings. And if the guy that is for me, the Lord brings my way, and he has been married and he do have kids, I'm definitely not saying that he is going to be X'd off of the list, red flag. It all just depends on, like you said, the whole situation, the dynamic of it, and all of that. That makes a difference. But let's get into a few of the comments. So Ruby's baby said, "This dude called me deformed because I didn't have kids." Well, that was rude. And thank goodness he said that, girl, so you can run for the hills.
Right.
Because he was not for you. She also said, I was my mom's only child too. She passed. So sorry to hear that. She was another thing that made me change my mind. I wish I didn't date guys with kids when I was younger. That's dang. So sorry to hear about your mom. And yeah, when I was younger, like I was kind of a rebel. And I ain't gonna lie. Then when I was younger, it was almost like what I say, go. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta grow up and get mature and all that. But when I was younger, I was like, no kids whatsoever. But then it ended up turning out that the guy I ended up falling in love with, he was definitely a father too. And I was like, he was meant for me. The Lord brought him into my life, and I am going against my, all of what I thought of, and where he at? He ain't here. You know what I'm saying? That damn loser. No, let me stop. All right, let's see. She got one more. Be careful. Some men pick and choose which kids they want to take care of. You don't know until they choose the man. That's real.
Brian McKnight.
It's so real and it's so sad all at the same time. It's so sad. It's so sad. And fathers is great as well, but when the father leaves, that mother is always, even when the father is there, the mother is it just hit differently. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones that carry them. We're the ones at the end of the day, whether you leave or stay or whatever the case may be, that care is going to be with that mother.
What did Brian McKnight do? Like, I heard somebody say it. I'm like, wait, what did
your face for the longest?
Yes. Who said something about Brian McKnight?
I did. So,
what you say, Olivia?
Brian McKnight, he has like maybe 2 or 3 grown kids.
That man's still fine. Listen.
Adult kids. But like throughout the past, like maybe 10 years or so, he has a new wife, a new family, and allegedly he's abandoned the first batch of kids that he had. I think one of them is
I just seen that
relationship. Yeah. And so now he has, I think he says like, oh yeah, I have one kid, and it's the baby, and just
and then he also ended up taking on her kids. I know exactly. And then his son ended up coming out and talking, and the son was just like him.
Yeah, exactly. His son is Brian McKnight Jr., I think.
Yeah. And when I tell y'all, I was like, because there's always those ones that you least expect. Like Brian McKnight, I would have never thought. Yeah. And when I seen how he was acting, and even the post that he had ended up doing, and the whole thing, I was just like, of course, I'm like, oh, but then once the son came out, I was like, you got a full-grown kid and you doing him like that, like basically. And that's another thing that sucks is certain men, again, not all men, but certain men, they only acknowledge what they're in at that present moment. And so to go to what you said in Ruby, they can very much with kids or without, like, I mean, well, obviously with kids, they can very much like she said, like only choose the ones that are present. And maybe the ones that gave them a little fight and kind of probably told them about themselves and stuff like that, they probably choose not to be in their lives. That's so sad. When I heard that that's so crazy you brought that up. I was hurt. I couldn't believe that. I was like, Brian McKnight, everyone grew up loving you. And that's another thing going back to social media is with social media, you get to see a totally different person, especially when when those secrets start to come out and they thought that they was hidden,
Mhm.
you'd be like, how dare you? And then you no longer like the person. You'd be like, you're such a goofball. You're a loser. I'm sorry, y'all, too. I'm always I tell you, I am so quick to call somebody a loser. At least at me. She'd be like, friend. I'd be like, he was a loser.
Bastard, all those things. That's sad and that's terrible. I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know. I'm not gonna be counting back to one for a little while. That's dang. That's terrible. Pick and choose. FYI, men, that is not cute. That's not a turn on or anything. That's a turn off for doing that. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. Kenyatta said he's fine, but he chose his new family. Grown kids still need their parents. Absolutely. Because at my big age, I still need mine.
Yep.
And I have no shame in my game at all. You know how, like, when they say when you become a parent at 18, they're no longer your responsibility and all of that. I feel like to a certain degree. I feel like you always have to be a parent. And then no matter at what age, whenever your child needs you as a parent, you got to come through. I don't care if I'm 40 and going through life crisis or whatever the case may be. If I call my mama, I expect her to come through, and I know she's gonna come through. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's crazy.
We're about to wrap it up, y'all. We got a couple more comments, and we're gonna do our final thoughts after that. You got it, Kenyatta. As you got it.
Hold on, wait. We got a few coming in. Hold on.
Yeah, that's right.
Came at one time.
Oh,
as my grandmother used to say, if it don't come out in the wash, it will come out in the rinse. I never heard that before.
Me either.
Huh. That must be a Chicago thing, huh? Wait, no.
Yeah, she's from Chicago.
Okay. I'm going to say, don't chew me up, Kenyatta. That must be a Chicago thing. He counted back to one when you get
One.
Dang, I cannot.
That is hilarious.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hey, Ruby Baby is hilarious. Money. Hey, ladies. Hello to everyone on the panel. Stopping through to show some love and support.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to all of us.
All the links are in there, and I'm gonna make sure I put it in my description as well. 18 is too young to stop parenting your kids. You just do it different.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
Cool. So, y'all, what time we be going here?
Time.
Yeah.
I think this was a super good live. I think it was a much needed live. I think we all have different perspectives to where it would be able to help out a lot of different people. And one thing I want to add, and then we can all just kind of go around and add, is don't stop living life, sis, because you are not where you expect life to be or where society expects you to be. God willing, he will come your way. And it's a possibility that either them kids may not, or that husband may not, or wife, however you identify. And that does not mean that you cannot live life. That does not mean that you cannot be happy with life. That does not mean that you cannot have this full of great energy that makes people want to be around you. I would just say that be patient with yourself. And be patient with others, and whatever it's meant to be will be. Continue to make those prayers at nighttime for whatever it is you're looking for. And he is not an on-time God for when you want him to be an on-time God, but he is an on-time God when he sees fit. Anybody else? Look, we're going to church on this one.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, I think I'm gonna put this 3 times. I don't have anything. My biggest thing is thank you, Cory and Olivia, for joining us.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Very, 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 very great conversation. I love different perspectives. I love different
Absolutely.
conversations. So this has been really, 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 really great. We would love to at some point have you guys on again or whatever.
Yes,
But
yes.
you know, we enjoy your content anyway, and we're just happy that we were able to do this since we all live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. But
we gotta meet up.
Yes,
We do.
exactly. So that's really, really good. She said, "You better appreciate Shay." Period.
Olivia and Cory, anything you guys want to add? Make sure you guys, they are new to our channel, but make sure you subscribe to them. Make sure you watch their videos, and all of that. We did not bring them on here for no reason. They're obviously a good vibe and great people. So make sure y'all tune into them as well. And tune into me and Leasy Jay as well.
Ladies,
I do want to say thank you for having us on. This was a really good conversation. It flowed well. I like that. You know, we all have different opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I enjoyed it. I like piggybacking off of everybody, learning everybody isn't the same.
Yeah.
Some things we are the same with.
Yeah.
And just like you said, live your life.
Yeah.
Book that flight, book that trip.
Yeah.
Time is gonna go away.
Yeah.
But your experience, you always have that. If it's in the works for you to have kids, a partner, whatever, it'll come. But don't stop and wait. Don't halt your life thinking, oh, I'm gonna wait. No.
Yeah.
Go enjoy. Do what you want to do. If you're independent now, continue with whatever hobby you like doing. Go out to eat by yourself.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. You don't have to answer no kids, no husband. Enjoy yourself for the time being, because that's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Whatever makes you happy is most important. And don't go looking for that man. Let him find you. But in order
let him look for you,
you have to position.
I gotta tell myself that too.
You have to. You don't go looking. Let him find you. But you have to position yourself for him to find you. So you have to go out. He ain't gonna find you on that couch, sis. I'll be having to tell myself that. When I tell y'all, I am a home IT. When I tell you, my
find me in Jamaica, no,
like,
because I be on the couch.
I'm on the. When I tell you, Cory, I am on the couch. It's so bad, and I pray every night for that man. I pray for him and with him.
Come knocking on the door,
right? But you still got to put yourself out there and position yourself. Leasy Jay, finish
no, we already said, don't forget, mark the words today. Olivia, 2 weeks.
Olivia said, sis, don't put that on me. I said I ain't ready.
Rebuke that.
The tongue is a powerful thing.
I meant it. No, if it's somebody, it's gonna be somebody great, you know. But I'll just joke.
We're gonna be at the wedding. I'm excited.
Yes.
See at the altar. You're righteous.
All jokes aside, again, thanks everybody. Thanks everyone who joined in later. E-Money, we did put everybody's links in there so you can catch up and check everybody out. We all have a story. It's just written differently. Absolutely. Appreciate you for stopping by. Again, we love you all. It's Friday night. Let's get it right. And we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Later.
Bye, guys.